Hello everyone, welcome to my channel BMB Gossip 24. Luna's baby is in real danger because of Bridget Forrester. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that at this point, it wouldn't surprise us if the unexpected really did happen. There's heavy speculation suggesting Luna Nozawa's baby might be in serious danger. Luna's baby is in real danger because of Bridget Forrester? And that's all because the baby's fate might be in Bridget Forrester's hands. Some even believe that Bridget might do the inevitable and actually slip something into Luna's hands to make her miscarry her baby. And while that would definitely be a shocking turn of events, no one in this fictional town of Los Angeles would even be surprised. After all, we are talking about the same Luna that sexually assaulted Will Spencer and for some reason or another, is still allowed to be in Bill Spencer's home while the baby is growing inside her. Clearly, she should be in jail instead, but no one seems to be taking any action to make sure that happens. What's next for Luna? That's why there is now speculation suggesting that Bridget might take matters into her own hands. Sure, she might be risking her career and her reputation if she does it, but at this point even a lot of fans of the soap would agree that something needs to be done in order to stop Luna. Because if she does give birth to this baby, she is going to end up terrorizing both the Spencer and Forrester families for the rest of her life. There's just no knowing what a psychotic person like her might do next. The only person though who might catch on to what Bridget is doing is Lee Finnegan. It would be surprising to see if she stops it from happening, or if she goes along with Bridget's plan. Bridget. This can't be right. She scrolls again, rereads the result. Negative for pregnancy. Bridget. No, everyone was so sure. Will, Bill, Katie, Luna. Her hand trembles as she reaches for the intercom. Bridget. Nurse. Can you send Will Spencer and his family in? The results are ready. As she turns toward the door, her face falls. She knows this will break hearts. Cue the bold and the beautiful opening theme. Bill Spencer paces restlessly, arms crossed, that trademark steel in his eyes barely containing nervous energy. Katie Logan sits beside their son, Will Spencer, who can't stop smiling. Will. I can't believe I'm gonna be a dad. Bill, smirking. You're a Spencer, son. We step up. Katie, gently. Let's just wait for the results before we start picking names. The door opens. Bridget enters, file in hand, face unreadable. Bill. Finally. Tell us what we already know, Bridget. Bridget hesitates, eyes darting to Will, then to Katie. Bridget, softly. I wish I could, Bill. Will, grinning. You mean it's official? Bridget, interrupting, voice trembling. Will, she isn't pregnant. Silence. The words hang heavy, echoing like thunder. Will, confused. What do you mean? That's not possible. She's been sick, Bridget. I ran the tests twice. There's no pregnancy hormone in her system. Bill stiffens, his jaw tightening. Bill. So you're saying the whole thing was, what? A mistake? Bridget, hesitant. Either that, or a lie. Katie gasps softly. Will shakes his head in disbelief. Will, hurt. No. Luna wouldn't lie to me. Luna Nozawa walks down the hall nervously, clutching her phone. Her cousin Electra follows, looking impatient. Electra, rolling her eyes. You sure about this, Luna? You really think Bridget's gonna give you good news? Luna, uneasy. I just need to know the truth. Electra, smirking. Truth's overrated. Especially when it ruins everything. Luna ignores her, forcing a shaky smile. Luna. Will deserves to know. They reach the conference room. Luna opens the door, then freezes. Luna. What's going on? Bridget looks at her sadly. Bill's glare could burn through glass. Bill, cold. Why don't you tell us, Luna? Luna, confused. Tell you what? Katie, gently. Bridget just told us, you're not pregnant. The color drains from Luna's face. Luna, stammering. That can't be. I felt. Electra, cutting in quickly. Maybe Bridget messed up. Doctors do that, right? Bridget glares at her. Bridget, firm. The tests are conclusive. Luna, you were never pregnant. Will's voice breaks, low and devastated. Will. Then why, Luna? Why tell me that baby was mine? Luna, tears spilling. I didn't lie. I thought, There was a positive test, I swear. Electra, quietly, almost to herself. Oh no. Bill, snapping. What was that? Everyone turns toward Electra. She looks trapped. Electra. Okay, maybe I switched the tests. But I didn't mean. Bridget, stunned. You what? The tension explodes. Bill steps toward Electra, rage in his eyes. Bill, furious. You switched the tests? You played with my son's life? Electra, defensive. I didn't know it would go this far. Luna was terrified. She thought she was pregnant, and I? Bridget, disgusted. You committed medical fraud. Electra, snapping. Oh please. It's not like anyone died. Bill. You better pray I never see your face again. Katie grips Bill's arm before he loses control. Katie, calm but firm. Bill, stop. This isn't helping. Luna turns to Electra, betrayal written all over her face. Luna, broken. You let everyone believe it was real. You let me believe it. Electra, defensive. I was protecting you. Luna, screaming. No, you were protecting yourself. Luna storms out, sobbing. Will moves as if to follow her, but Bill stops him. Bill. Let her go, son. Will, teary. But Dad. Bill. No. She needs to face what she's done. Will collapses into a chair, running his hands through his hair. Will, whispering. I loved her, Dad. Bill, quietly. Yeah. That's what makes it hurt the most. Bridget is pacing, phone in hand. She's trying to contain the fallout. Bridget, on phone. Yes, I'll send the official report to the Spencers immediately. And, no, I won't press charges. But this has to stay confidential. She hangs up and exhales heavily. Katie enters quietly. Katie. Rough day? Bridget, dryly. That's an understatement. Katie, sympathetic. You did the right thing, Bridget. Bridget. Then why does it feel so awful? Katie sighs, then leans against the counter. Katie. Because the truth always hurts. Especially when it destroys hope. Bridget, sadly. Will's just a kid. He believed he had a future with her. Katie. And now he knows what heartbreak really feels like. They share a somber silence before Bridget speaks again. Bridget. I keep thinking about Luna. She looked lost. Katie. She's not the only one. Camera pans to Katie, deep in thought, her eyes betraying worry for Bill, who she knows will never forgive easily. Bill stands by the fireplace, glass of bourbon in hand. Will sits silently nearby, staring into the flames. Will, quietly. Do you think she ever loved me? Bill, after a beat. I think she wanted to. But love built on lies doesn't last. Will. You sound like you know from experience. Bill, half smirking. Maybe I do. Katie enters with a soft smile, trying to ease the tension. Katie. Dinner's ready if either of you can eat. Bill, without looking up. Not hungry. Katie, sitting beside Will. You'll get through this. Both of you will. Will, quietly. Feels like my life just ended. Katie. It's just beginning. You learned who you are today, Will, not who she said you were. Will nods slowly, emotion building in his throat. Int. Luna's apartment, same night. Luna sits on the floor, surrounded by crumpled tissues and an open suitcase. She's been crying for hours. Electra stands in the doorway, guilty but defiant. Electra. You're welcome. Luna, hoarse. For what? Ruining my life? Electra. For saving it. You think you could have raised a baby right now? You can barely pay rent. Luna, coldly. You don't get to decide what I can handle. Electra. Oh, come on, Luna. Everyone's acting like I'm the villain. You were terrified. I just gave you an excuse. Luna, standing. You gave me humiliation. You made me look like a liar. Electra. You are a liar. You let Will think he was gonna be a dad. You could have stopped it. Luna's hand shakes as she points to the door. Luna. Get out. Electra, shrugging. You'll thank me one day. She leaves. Luna collapses onto the couch, whispering. Luna. I've lost everything. Bridget meets with Bill privately. his calmer but still seething beneath the surface. Bill. You're sure about the results? Bridget. Positive. There's no room for error. Bill, coldly. Then I'm done with all of them. Luna. Electra. Anyone who thought they could make a fool out of a Spencer. Bridget, softly. Bill, don't let anger make you blind. Bill. Anger's what keeps me sharp, Bridget. She frowns as he storms out, already planning his next move. Katie is on the phone, her expression unreadable. Katie, interphone. Yes, I know Bill's furious, but this could turn ugly fast. Just keep an eye on Luna. I don't trust where this is going. She hangs up, looking worried. Katie, to herself. Please, Bill, don't make this worse. Tag scene. Int. Spencer Estate, night. Will stands by the window, staring at the night sky. Bill enters behind him, voice low. Bill. You did nothing wrong, son. Remember that. Will, quietly. I still miss her. Bill. Then you're human. But don't ever let anyone use your heart as a weapon again. He places a hand on Will's shoulder. A rare, genuine father-son moment. Bill, softly. We'll move forward. Together. The camera pans to the fire burning behind them, a symbol of cleansing and destruction alike. Cut to Luna sitting alone in her apartment, clutching a sonogram photo she once believed was hers, tears glistening as she whispers. Luna. I didn't lie. I just believed the wrong truth. Dr. Bridget Forrester sat at her desk, staring blankly at the computer screen. The DNA test results were flashing in front of her, cold, clinical lines of truth that could destroy the Spencer and Logan families. Her fingers trembled as she reread the report. Paternity inconclusive. Probability, 0% match. It wasn't what Katie had wanted to hear. It wasn't what anyone expected. Bridget's heartbeat quickened. She knew exactly what this meant. Luna's baby wasn't Will Spencer's. Her stomach twisted. She had been through this before, the tears, the shock, the endless judgment. And now, somehow, fate had placed her in the middle again. But this time, the stakes were worse. Katie's plea. Hours earlier, Katie Logan had shown up at Bridget's office unannounced, eyes red, voice trembling, yet determined. You can't let this destroy him, Bridget, she had whispered, clutching Bridget's wrist. Please, Will can't handle it. He's young, he's finally becoming his father's son, and this baby, it gave him purpose. Bridget remembered standing there, stunned by Katie's words. The logical part of her mind screamed, you're a doctor, not a fixer of hearts. But the emotional part, the side that knew what it was like to be a Logan, to make mistakes, to protect family, couldn't ignore Katie's desperation. Katie continued, her voice breaking. Bill will go ballistic if he finds out Luna lied. He'll ruin her, maybe worse. I need time to figure out how to handle this. Just, please, Bridget. Say the baby's wills. Just for now. It was the kind of request that could end a career, and a life. But the pain in Katie's eyes had been unbearable. Bridget had only whispered, let me think. Now, staring at the true results on her screen, Bridget knew that she had already decided hours ago. The test that changed everything. Bridget stood and took a deep breath. She reached for the lab's central system, the one used to log DNA results into the hospital's network, and hesitated. One keystroke could rewrite reality. Her mind flashed back to her own mistakes, her affair with Deacon years ago, the shame, the fallout, the family tearing apart. Maybe this is my chance to protect someone else from that same pain, she thought. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. Then, she did it. She changed the result line. From, paternity inconclusive, 0% match. To, paternity confirmed, 99.9% match. And just like that, Luna's baby officially became Will Spencer's, in name only. Bridget's chest tightened with guilt. She saved the file, printed the document, and sealed it in an envelope. Her reflection in the lab's window stared back at her, the image of a woman both doctor and sinner. God help me, she whispered. Scene 2, the reveal. The conference room at Spencer Publications was silent except for the ticking of a clock. Bill stood tall and stoic, his dark eyes fixed on the door. Will sat beside him, hands clenched. Katie paced in the corner, nervous energy radiating off her. Then the door opened. Bridget stepped in, holding the envelope. Everyone's eyes locked on her. "I have the paternity test results," she said softly. Will's voice cracked. "Just tell me it's mine." Bridget looked at him, so hopeful, so fragile, and felt her heart shatter all over again. "Yes," she said, forcing a smile. "The test confirms it. Will, you're the father." A breathless silence filled the room before cheers and tears erupted. Katie threw her arms around her son, sobbing. Bill's eyes softened for the first time in weeks. "My son's a father," Bill said proudly. "You're a Spencer through and through." Bridget nodded, her throat tight, her conscience screaming. As she turned to leave, her gaze met Katie's. The older woman mouthed 2 words, "Thank you." Bridget barely managed a smile. Scene 3, The Guilt Begins. That night, Bridget sat alone in her apartment, her glass of wine untouched. Her phone buzzed, a message from Katie. "Katie, I owe you everything. You saved my family. Please, let's keep this between us." Bridget's stomach knotted. The weight of the lie had already begun pressing down on her. She typed a reply, deleted it, then put the phone face down. How could she justify what she'd done? The doorbell rang. When she opened it, Rich Forrester stood there. "Hey, Bridge," he said softly. "You okay?" She blinked in surprise. "Rich? What are you doing here?" "Katie told me about the test," he said. "Said you handled it with grace." She forced a weak smile. "Just doing my job." Rich's eyes narrowed slightly, he knew her too well. "You sure about that?" he asked. She froze. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I know you," Rich replied. "And when you start saying you're fine, that's usually when you're about to explode." Bridget turned away, her voice barely above a whisper. "Ridge, sometimes the truth isn't what people need." He frowned. "And who decides that?" "You." Her silence said everything. Rich stepped closer. "Bridge, what did you do?" Scene 4, The Cracks Show. Days passed. The Spencers celebrated, Luna pretended to be relieved, and Katie basked in her small victory, but Bridget's guilt festered like an infection beneath the surface. Every time she saw Will's bright smile, or Katie's grateful eyes, she felt the burn of her own betrayal. Her dreams grew restless. In one, she stood in the lab again, the results flashing on screen, and every time she tried to delete the lie, the words paternity confirmed burned brighter and brighter. She woke one night in a cold sweat, whispering, "What have I done?" The next morning, Deacon Sharp stopped by her office, another ghost from her past. "Heard about the baby drama," he said with a crooked smile. "You okay, Doc?" "You know me," she replied dryly. "I always land in the middle of chaos." "Yeah, but this chaos, it's got your fingerprints all over it," Deacon said knowingly. She stiffened. "What are you implying?" "Just that when a Logan gets desperate, truth gets flexible," he said with a wink. Bridget's jaw tightened. "You have no idea what you're talking about." But he wasn't wrong, and the worst part was, he knew it. Scene 5, The Whisper Campaign. It didn't take long before whispers began around Los Angeles. Something about the results seemed too perfect. Steffi Forrester was the first to question it. "It's just strange," she told Rich. "Bridget's too thorough to make a mistake, but Luna doesn't even look relieved. It's like she's hiding something." Rich frowned. "I thought this whole thing was over." "Not for long," Steffi replied. "Trust me, nothing at Forrester stays buried." Back at the Spencer house, Luna was also starting to crumble. The guilt of pretending her baby was Will's was eating her alive. She had never wanted to deceive him, but Katie's insistence, Bill's pressure, and now the fake test had made her complicit in something bigger than any of them. Luna sat on her bed, hands trembling as she stared at the ultrasound photo. "You're innocent," she whispered to the unborn baby. "But I'm not." Scene 6, The Confrontation. One afternoon, Bridget found Katie waiting in her office again, only this time, she didn't look grateful. She looked panicked. "Bill's suspicious," Katie blurted. "He asked Bridget for a second test. He said he wants confirmation directly from the hospital system." Bridget's heart dropped. "You said this was temporary," she hissed. "I didn't think he'd do this." Katie said. "You know Bill, he doesn't trust anyone, not even his own shadow." Bridget's pulse raced. If he gets that second test, everything falls apart, Katie. My career, your family, Will, everything. Then you have to stop it, Katie said, desperation in her voice. I already broke my oath once, Bridget whispered. I won't do it again. Katie's eyes filled with tears. Please, Bridget. I'm begging you. But Bridget turned away. No. You started this lie. Now you live with it. Scene 7, Bill finds out. That night, Bill Spencer sat in his office, staring at the envelope marked confidential. He had requested a second test through a private lab, and now the results were in. He opened it. His eyes narrowed. No genetic match. The paper crumpled in his fist as rage boiled up inside him. She lied to me, he growled. They both did. He stormed out of the office, determination blazing in his eyes. Scene 8, Fallout. Katie was at home when Bill burst through the door, fury written all over his face. You knew, he shouted. You and Bridget, you covered this up. Bill, please. Don't you dare, he snapped. You lied to me, to our son, to everyone. How long were you going to let him believe that baby was his? Katie broke down in tears. I did it for Will. He needed something to believe in. You don't lie to protect people. Bill roared. You lied to destroy them. Upstairs, Will listened, heartbroken, realizing the truth. Meanwhile, Bridget sat in her office, staring at the medical license on the wall, knowing it was over. Scene 9, Redemption or Ruin. The next morning, Bridget turned herself in to the hospital board. She admitted everything, the alteration, the reason, the emotional manipulation. She expected condemnation. Instead, she was met with quiet disappointment. Dr. Forrester, the head of the board said, You've saved countless lives. But you compromised one truth. That's something no doctor should ever do. I understand, Bridget said softly. And I'll accept whatever comes. As she left the office, her phone buzzed, a message from Katie. I'm sorry. For everything. Bridget stared at it for a long time, then deleted it. Epilogue. One lie too many. Weeks later, the scandal had spread through Los Angeles. The Logans were divided, the Spencers were in chaos, and Luna had fled town to escape the shame. Bridget worked quietly at a small clinic outside the city, trying to rebuild her life. One evening, as she closed up, a familiar voice spoke behind her. You always do the wrong thing for the right reasons, don't you? It was Ridge. Bridget smiled sadly. Maybe that's my curse. Or your calling, he said softly. You saved Will from heartbreak, even if it cost you everything. She looked out the window, the sunset glowing over Los Angeles. Truth is messy, she whispered. But lies, they always find a way home. As the screen faded to black, a single thought echoed through her mind. Some secrets heal families. Others destroy them forever.